All right, everybody. So, welcome. This is my first official YouTube video where I'm actually doing the voiceover. So, yeah, welcome. You can see here I'm doing a variation of pull downs in front, angled bar. So, yeah, just a bit of a background. I traditionally bodybuilding growing up, my adult years at least. But recently got into arm wrestling, so I switched it up a little bit when the training, but still predominantly trained like a bodybuilder. Occasionally I'll do heavy lifts, maybe not really one rep, but four, six, 10, all depends on the body part and how it's feeling that day, of course. Up until about January, back has been my favorite body part for the past 20 years or so, maybe a little less. But yeah, recently, because of the arm wrestling, I've grown accustomed to actually looking forward to arm day. When I say arm, I'm talking about bicep, forearm, wrist, grip. That's what I consider an arm day now. Of course, I still do my tries. Occasionally, I'll throw it in while doing chest. Sometimes I'll do it on its own. I feel now that not doing the bodybuilding, I'm a little bit more fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to how I'm going to structure my workout. Even not the actual movements that I do, because I've always been pretty fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to the actual movements. Which exercise am I going to do? When am I going to do it? I always try and keep the body guessing. But recently, with arms, bicep, forearm, wrist, I actually look forward to that day. But of course, that's not today. Today is back, and I'm still love back. Still like to put a little bit of weight in my hands, throw it around, whether it be with a row, which you just saw me doing bent over rows. I was going a bit heavy on this day, but still trying to keep as much form as I can, which that's key, especially with bodybuilding. With arm wrestling, you'll see in later videos, especially when I'm doing arms, sometimes I'll do cheat curls, which is pretty common in the arm wrestling, just because that's what it is. Just trying to get that last extra rep, trying to do a little bit heavier weight, because arm wrestling match, at least where I am right now. Right now, I just competed at New England's, and I got first place for left and right semi pro for the super heavyweights. So my matches, just because I'm not in the pro class yet, which next year I will be, it's a bit more, the match is over pretty quickly for the most part. Of course, you can have guys maybe go 6, 7 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. A lot of my matches, they're going to be over pretty quickly, because we're just still learning. Still, whoever has the better position at the beginning is probably going to win. But I've seen matches go quite the distance. Yeah, so that last exercise saw me doing the bent over pullovers with the rope, or the handles attached to the rope, which definitely my favorite attachment that my gym got recently, probably in the last year and a half, 2 years, which I do go to Powerhouse in Woonsocket. It's the best gym because it's a legit powerhouse, and it's open 24 hours a day. I can scan my card at any time, walk in. 1 o'clock in the morning, I've been there because dropping my son off at the hospital with his mother. So yeah, a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, or whenever I feel like walking in, I don't have to worry about are they open or not. With the rows, I've been doing them high recently. I've been doing them with a wide grip. I feel that I'm getting a better contraction, a better squeeze at the top. I'll still do lower as well, but usually when I'm doing this exercise, I want to get that big pump for the middle of my back, for the upper, for my traps, because I want a thicker, bigger back. Of course, I do like to have a wide back, but my main goal is to be as thick as possible. And it's just going to help me when it comes to being on the table with arm wrestling, having that drag, having the back pressure. It's just, back plays a big role in it. Not quite as much as maybe your hand or your forearm does, but still want to get better at everything I do. So that's why I want the biggest, thickest back, and I'll let you know when I get there. But yeah, here I am actually doing single arm pull downs, which I've done in the past. I don't do it too often. This day I just felt like I needed to do it, so that's what I ended up doing, and I actually did like it. Not sure if this is gonna get thrown in every week, but of course, just like I used to, I'll definitely break it out every once in a while. like I said, you have to keep your body guessing. If you're not, you're just gonna stay stagnant, and that's not gonna be fun for you in the gym, and your body's gonna get used to doing the same movements over and over. And that's another thing. You can do the same movements even if you do it in a different order. That's gonna help. That's gonna help just because you're gonna be fresher at the beginning of your exercise than you are gonna be at the end. So if you always start with flat bench, which I don't recommend, you still want a nice big thick high chest. So I would start that at the beginning, and then occasionally throw in flat bench or even decline or even flies to start off your workout, just to keep your body guessing and to get that blood into the muscle a different way. But yeah, with the pull downs, a shot from behind the back. Like I said, I don't do it too often, but I figure show you what it looks like when I do, and yeah, got a pretty good pump on this day. Yeah, so a little bit more of a background. 37 years old now. I've been in the fitness community since seventh grade. Started with an after school program. Luckily, my middle school was right down the hill from my high school, so they had an after school program. Headed over to the weight room every day after school, and I've always been a pretty good size individual even as a kid. Seventh grade, 220, had plenty of size. So I actually started off walking into the gym benching 200, which I know takes a lot of guys a little bit longer, but you have to keep in mind I was weighing above that, so it wasn't too impressive. But everybody says they remember when they first hit 225, and I don't even, just because it wasn't even that big of a deal to me, just because I was weighing that much. But once I got to freshman year, I remember hitting a pretty good mark, 280 twice freshman year, which, like I said, once again, I was probably weighing about 240 at the time, so not as impressive if another freshman was doing it weighing 175 or 180. But still, I'll take it. And here, you see me doing a machine. I mean, I didn't talk too much about it just because there's not too much to say. I mean, low grip, you get a nice squeeze. It's more about the weight a lot of times. Sorry, it's more about the squeeze than the weight is a lot of times, especially with back movements. Certain things like squats, of course, you want to have a good amount of weight. Even shrugs, which I'm doing here now, I don't go too heavy with the shrugs. This is probably heavier than I've gone in a while, and I felt the pump, but not what I was looking for. So probably next time I do this, which I do shrugs with back and shoulders, just because I want those traps to come in. They're a little bit underdeveloped for my liking, so you're gonna see me doing traps quite a bit. So get used to it. But I probably won't be doing this much weight again. I did, however, pick up the fat grips, which everybody uses. It's going to be helpful in my arm wrestling, but pick those up. So you're going to see me maybe picking up the heavier weights than I normally would. But it's all about the squeeze, whether it be bicep, tricep, chest. Especially with the back, I feel where you lower the weight a little bit, you get that squeeze. Even if you go higher reps, it's okay. You're gonna get a burn and you're gonna walk out as long as you're doing it direct. So that's what I recommend if you're not getting what you're looking for, which I didn't that day with the traps. I just think maybe because I was recording myself, so I went a little bit heavier than I normally would. At least I know now that I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm showing you what you should do and hopefully how you can benefit from some of my videos. So yeah, drop the weight if you're not getting the good squeeze, or you know what, maybe bump up the weight if you're not getting a good enough squeeze, if you're not getting a good enough pump. So that's pretty much it for the video. I know I'm still talking here, but let me save something for the next video. Thank you.